So I've had different views on everything, and I've had to learn to talk to every single one of them. And I think my communication skills has gotten a lot better, especially because before going into competition, I was afraid to use my voice. Obviously, because of growing up, speaking out or just speaking in general was a way for people to attack me and to target me. And I had to relearn not to do that and not to allow myself to just silence myself in order to survive. I needed to speak up, and I needed to accept my voice and accept my reality in order for me to further on and grow as a better individual. But so I've been working on my interview as much as possible. I think you guys have seen so many interviews of me. I don't often share it, but if you looked it up on YouTube, it's everywhere. I have interviews with Good Morning America, with Elle, with People, NPR, Yahoo. I had an interview today with Yahoo. There's so many things. So I've been working on my interview, and I've seen people try to comment saying that my interview was probably bad, and it could have been, but I'm not 100% sure. I felt great in my interview. My only issue with my interview is a lot of people don't know this, but you submit a bio when you're competing for any state or in the Miss USA or Miss Universe organization, I believe, and then they ask questions according to your bio typically, or they ask questions that is surrounding what is in your bio. But for me, when I did my interview, all the questions that I received was about transitioning. The questions were, when did you transition? How did you find your voice? Do you ever get tired of people just thinking you're trans and this and that? So it was mostly purely being about trans, when in my bio, I've only mentioned towards the end, literally the last question of, not even just a question, it's just note your awards, your honors and stuff like that. And I put first trans woman to compete at Miss USA. And then I had other stuff in there. So it was literally mentioned one time because I wanted to specifically make sure that in my interview section, it wasn't going to be about trans, because I've done that so many times, and I'm not just a trans person. Being trans for me is a part of me, but not necessarily my entire me. And unfortunately, I think in that judging interview, they were only primarily focused on the idea that I'm trans right after I talked about what I was wearing, which I designed. And, even if they asked me so surface level questions like who designed this, and I would say that's me, and then they would talk about my business a bit, like how, if you were to design a specific size, how big can you go? And I've said that, I'm always open, because I started my business because I couldn't find something that fit my body type, and because I couldn't afford clothing that fit me, or something that I could just wear for stage. And so I would try to go as deep as possible. And then growing up, when I started designing, because I couldn't play with my sister's toys, and so I had to make my own. And so every surface question that they asked me, I tried to really go as deep as possible, but there's only so much that you can go as deep to a simple question. And I think I was just never given the chance to excel in a question that was just so basic. It was like, what did you eat today? Like, how far can you go with that? When other people, I think, were receiving questions about abortions, or how would you increase media, social media things. And for me, I received such questions that I feel like were just not relevant, and if anything, was not me, or something I've already spoke about. So I feel like that was what could have happened, or what was the what's the word I'm looking for, Renee? what's the word I'm looking for? Like promos and stuff like that. So I was barely in it. If you've seen the footages
all the material and all
the pre-recorded stuff, I was literally in it for 2 seconds.
I think they didn't show a lot of girls too.
Yeah, but then a lot of the girls who didn't.
I was always looking for you because I was like.
Yeah, and a lot of the girls who weren't in it, also did not place on top, or not even place at all. So I really don't know what was going on, but I was shocked too as well, and just so many people that was deserving to get in that spot. Taylor was one of them.
Michigan.
So at the end of the day, I think that they're looking for a specific person, and that's completely okay. Would I recommend it to anyone? Absolutely. But this is also not the end for me. I'm very thankful for the experience again. I'm grateful for it. I've learned so many things that I can use in the future and anything that I want to do. And I'm very grateful for all the people that have helped me, like Gasper, Avery, Team Silver.
Maraming salamat po sa panunood. Nawa po ay nagustuhan nyo ang video kong ito. Mag-subscribe ka na rin po sa aking YouTube channel account for more pageant chika. Maraming salamat pong muli.